If this video vanishes from your feed within the next hour, know that the cognitive suppression algorithms have finally caught up with this leak. What you are about to hear is the final 2026 unsealing of the Epstein investigation files. A 400 terabyte data dump recovered from the encrypted servers hidden beneath the Little St. James Temple. This isn't just a list of names, it is the blueprint of a blackmail economy that has controlled the United States government and every major G7 leader for the last 3 decades. The FBI whistleblower who leaked this from the Arlington evidence locker has already gone missing. But the data is out. The elite aren't just criminals, they are puppets on a string. And the string is held by a shadow agency that uses human trafficking as its primary tool of global governance. The 2026 files confirmed that Epstein's Island was a high-tech neural harvesting facility. While the public was told it was a place of depravity, the leaked blueprints show rooms wired with CIA-grade silent sound spread spectrum technology. The girls, some as young as 12, were not just victims of a predator, they were biosensors, used to trigger specific chemical reactions in world leaders, which were then recorded by ultra-high-definition cameras hidden behind two-way mirrors. This footage was then processed by an AI in Tel Aviv to create compromise profiles. If a prime minister refused to sign a trade deal or a president wanted to stop a war, the agency would simply play a 10-second clip of their time on the island. The 2026 leak includes the names of 2 current European prime ministers and 3 former US presidents, whose sub-level activities were so dark that the FBI has classified the footage as hazardous to national stability. To red folder leaks and to girls' testimony, the survivors' testimonies, finally unredacted in the February 2026 report, describe a ritualistic processing that happened in the tunnels beneath the island. They speak of the machine, a device used to harvest adrenochrome and other biological markers, from terrified children to be sold to Silicon Valley billionaires seeking eternal life. This is the dark secret behind the transhumanist movement. Epstein was the middleman between the monsters and the masters. The girls were kept in a state of constant dissociative identity disorder. Through the use of frequencies we now recognize as the precursor to Project 666. One leaked file, labeled Asset Control 2027, describes how these world leaders were marked during their visits, ensuring they would be the first to implement the neural backdoors in their respective countries once the 2030 reboot was initiated. Why is the system allowing this to leak now? Because the old guard is being liquidated. The 2026 Epstein leak is a controlled burn of the old elite to make way for the AI governor system of 2028. By exposing the human leaders as pedophiles and monsters, the shadow government can convince the public that human leadership has failed, and that we must hand over all power to a neutral AI. The same AI that was trained on the blackmail data from the island. Every name you see trending on X or TikTok today is a distraction from the fact that the new island is already operational, but it's no longer an island. It's a digital metaverse where the same crimes are being committed in a way that can never be traced. The 2026 list is just the trash being taken out before the New World Order moves into the house. As the 2027 underground sun activation approaches, the elite are desperate to keep the public in a state of outrage shock. The Epstein files are the ultimate weapon of mass distraction. While you hunt for names on a list, they are installing the neural grid in your neighborhood. The girls deserve justice, but the system is using their pain to justify its own total control. The countdown to the 2030 final reset has entered its most aggressive phase. The footage is real. The crimes are worse than you can imagine. And the people on that list are still running the world, at least until the machine takes over in 2028. Watch the flight logs, protect your children, and never forget. The only thing they fear is a population that knows the truth and refuses to be blackmailed. Stay human. Stay offline. The grid is closing. 2026 unsealing of investigation files is complete. 400 terabyte data dump recovered from encrypted servers. Servers hidden beneath the Little St. James Temple. Blueprint of a blackmail economy exposed. Control of the United States government for 3 decades. Every major G7 leader under control. FBI whistleblower from Arlington is missing. Elite are puppets on a string held by shadow agencies. Human trafficking as a primary tool of global governance. High-tech neural harvesting facilities on the island. Blueprints show CIA-grade silent sound technology. Biosensors trigger chemical reactions in world leaders. Ultra-high-definition cameras hidden behind mirrors. Footage processed by AI in Tel Aviv. Compromise profiles created for political leverage. Trade deals and war decisions dictated by the agency. 10-second clips played to ensure compliance. Current European prime ministers included in the leak. Former US presidents involved in sub-level activities. Footage classified as hazardous to national stability. Red folder survivors' testimonies finally unredacted. Ritualistic processing in the tunnels. The machine harvests adrenochrome from terrified children. Biological markers sold to Silicon Valley billionaires. Eternal life sought through transhumanist movements. Epstein was the middleman for monsters and masters. Constant dissociative identity disorder in victims. Frequencies used as precursors to project 666. Asset Control 2027 marks world leaders for marking. Implementation of neural backdoors for the 2030 reboot. Old guard being liquidated in a controlled burn. Elite liquidation makes way for AI Governor 2028. Human leadership failure justifies neutral AI takeover. AI trained on the blackmail data from the island. Trending names are distractions from the digital metaverse. New digital island is operational and untraceable. 2026 list is trash being taken out for the new world order. Underground sun activation approaches in 2027. Elite keep the public in outrage shock. Epstein files are weapons of mass distraction. Neural grid installation in local neighborhoods. System uses pain to justify total control. 2030 final reset aggressive phase has begun. Footage of crimes is worse than imagined. People on the list run the world until 2028. Watch flight logs and protect the children. Refuse to be blackmailed by knowing the truth. Stay human. Stay offline. The grid is closing.